All right, greetings. Welcome back to Black Bear News, where everything is connected. Don't you know? What's up, people? Got a good crowd in the chats on YouTube. You got news from Sam Carana. What is it, pray tell? Let me know. Check in if you're watching on the other platforms, Odyssey and Substack. What I meant by opt out in the thumbnail is just that. Opting out of whatever we can. Um, of the systems that, right now seem like they're might be helping us, but most likely eventually will be enslaving us. We'll discuss that further, what that means. I'm not on Blue Sky, and I don't know that I need to be, but I don't know. Do I need to be on every platform? I feel like I'm on a lot of platforms already as it is. When what I want to do is consolidate my time and my energy to a few platforms. But mainly what I'd like to do is offer alternative platforms that are decentralized and not, hopefully not controlled by the PayPal mafia or Peter Thiel or some other people. What's up? We got all kinds of people up here. 80 degrees in Missouri. Shoot. I'm gonna guess that's not normal for February. We're about to get some rain tomorrow. But after Valentine's Day, we're supposed to get like slammed with a bunch of storms, which I am totally looking forward to because I need winter to actually be here for a little while. But like I was saying, like the platforms that are bigger that everybody is on, X, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, etc. The platforms that everybody is on are the devil, but you kind of have to use those platforms to reach out to people, to have some kind of visibility. So I think the best way right now to go about it is try to reach people as you can and divert, and then also just constantly press, the idea that there are other platforms. Hopefully get enough people over to the other alternative platforms that, when it becomes unviable to use the bigger platforms, there is a backup. But eventually we're going to have to get out of, the things that are draining us of our energy and our identity. So I don't know what that point is. Some people think that point is right now. And all I can say is do your best. Let's get into a few things. Anybody watching on Odyssey? Hello, Odyssey. No Odyssey. Well, there's one person watching, but I just can't. Kate is on Substack. What's up, Kate? A couple people on Substack. Starting with, well, I guess we'll just start with weather, climate, whatever you want to call it. Weather is not news, bro. Okay. When weather pushes you out of your house, I'm sure that is going to be pretty big news to you. This is about methane. Denver sent this to me. Scientists explain why methane spiked in the early 2020s. And I'm sure, so the people who have been looking at this for a long time, they probably could tell you right off the bat. I know why. Here in Greenland, they say the year without a winter. Yeah, I was thinking about actually writing a song like the something along those lines. The year that winter went away, or something like that. The year that winter left. It almost feels like that here. A combination of weakened atmospheric removal and increased emissions from warming wetlands. Increased emissions from warming wetlands, rivers, lakes, and agricultural land increased atmospheric methane at an unprecedented rate in the early 2020s, an international team of researchers report today in the journal Science. A sharp decline in hydroxyl radicals, the primary cleaning agent that breaks down methane in the atmosphere during 2020 and 2021, explains roughly 80% of the year-to-year variation in methane accumulation. According to the team, at the same time, an extended La Nina period from 2020 to 2023 brought wetter than average conditions across much of the tropics, expanding flooded areas and stimulating the production of methane. The second most important greenhouse gas after carbon dioxide, atmospheric methane levels rose by 55 parts per billion between 2019 and 2023, reaching a record 1,921 parts per billion. Oh my God, in 2023. The rate of increase peaked in 2021 at nearly 18 parts per billion, an 84% jump compared with 2019. As the planet becomes warmer and wetter, thanks global warming, methane emissions from wetlands, inland waters, and paddy rice systems will increasingly shape near-term climate change. And don't forget about those pesky methane hydrates. Yeah. Going down, largest emissions occurred in tropical Africa, Southeast Asia, while Arctic wetlands and lakes also showed significant growth as warming enhanced microbial activity. Don't forget about those pesky methane hydrates. Crucially, fossil fuel and wildfire emissions played only a minor role in the recent methane surge. Isotopic evidence confirms that microbial sources, wetlands, rivers, lakes, and reservoirs, and agriculture dominated the observed changes. Oh. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So there you go. If you're wondering why it's hotter, it's because it's hotter. It's because it's hotter. Um, what else is going on? There's just the the Epstein files just keep on giving. Us plenty of things to talk about, but talk is cheap and action is paramount. John Glad says 800 consecutive months, everyone warmer than the previous. 73 degrees in Springfield, Missouri. Yeah. Yeah. Shoot, we've had almost 2 weeks of 80 plus. They'll tell you that the thermometer said 75 or maybe 78, but I can tell you most of those days were actually in the 80s, and we almost got up to 90 the other day, 89 degrees a couple days ago, and it was again yesterday very, very warm, 85 yesterday. So very warm. Today it starts the downtrend of the heat, thankfully, and we're going to get down into the 50s next week. Can't wait. Ghislaine Maxwell was scheduled to testify today in front of the House Oversight Committee in a closed-door virtual deposition. However, she invoked her Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination and refused to answer any questions, as her legal team had previously indicated. Yeah. Doing so might help keep her alive, if only for a little while. Isn't that crazy? You guys went from like 5 degrees for a couple weeks straight to 80 degrees. Despite not answering questions, lawmakers reported that Maxwell was willing, through her attorney, to testify that Donald Trump and Bill Clinton were not involved in any wrongdoing related to Epstein. An offer some Democrats viewed as a bid for presidential clemency. Really? She is on the Keep Ghislaine Alive tour. I'm Ghislaine Maxwell. This is my Keep Ghislaine Alive tour. Thomas Massey said yesterday, tomorrow, meaning today, I will go to the DOJ and view the unredacted Epstein files. Which docs should I view? Include the EFTA link and reply. I will sort the replies to this post by number of likes. And there were a lot of questions in here about files. And there, a lot of these files are pretty disgusting. I don't know what more we need to absolutely get together and depose the current president of the United States. I don't know what more we need to jail, block, put out of business most of the corporations that are led by these horrible people that were in these files. I don't know what more we need in order to indict, arrest, etc. Any and all the people in these files. I don't know. It looks like they're trying to do that in Europe. They're trying to do something in Europe. Give them credit. Here's Thomas Massey calling for Howard Lutnick's resignation after he is named in the SU. What about Donald Trump's resignation? What about everyone's resignation? Everyone's resignation. Trump and his entire administration. I mean, on some levels, the entire government apparatus needs to go, because everybody is an accomplice. If you're not actually named in the files, you're if you're high up enough, what's going on and you're aware of it, and you're just playing along out of whatever it is, fear or
No, he should just resign. I mean, there are 3 people in Great Britain that have resigned in politics: the ambassador from Great Britain to the United States. The prince lost his title for less than what we've seen Howard Lutnick lie about. Look, Howard Lutnick clearly went to the island, if we believe what's in these files. He was in business with Jeffrey Epstein. And this was many years after Jeffrey Epstein was convicted, lightly sentenced, but was convicted for sexual crimes. So he's got a lot to answer for, but really he should make life easier on the president, frankly, and just resign. If this were Great Britain, he'd already be gone.
And just for the record, the Commerce Department says that he had limited interactions with Mr. Epstein in the presence of his wife, has never been accused of wrongdoing.
No, he should just resign. I mean, there are 3 people in Great Britain.
But what is he even talking about? Trump is in those files. Trump needs to resign. Like, yeah, sure. Howard Lutnick, sure. Get him out of here. What about the Trump diddler? Here's Howard Lutnick talking about tether reserves, and he doesn't. You tell me whether he sounds believable. This is from Aaron Day. Follow Aaron Day if you want to know what's going on in the crypto / digital dollar that they're trying to roll out. He has a lot of good insight into what's going on. Howard Lutnick saying, "Trust me, bro, about tether reserves. In my opinion, this will be the Big Short 2.0. And they're trying to position Tether as too big to fail." There's a lot of debate about like what coin is going to be the new digital dollar. It's like some people are like Tether, some people are like XRP. Some people say it'll just be Bitcoin. I don't know.
That I like called Tether. It's a stable coin, and I manage many of their assets, and the Tether Holdings is the name of the group. And the group, I want to say it here with you, from what we've seen, and we did a lot of work, they have the money they say they had. In the last attestation, they said they had 86 billion of assets and 83 billion of liabilities. And I've seen a whole lot, and the firm has seen a whole lot, and they have the money. And so there's always been a lot of talk. Do they have it or not? So I'm with you guys saying we've seen it and they have it. For countries like Argentina, Venezuela, Turkey, these crypto assets matter. Stable coins matter in those countries. Okay, they really do. It's a way to hold on to the dollar. So I think Tether's stable coin in Argentina, in Venezuela, in Turkey. I mean, imagine you're in Turkey. You don't want to hold the Turkish lira. I mean, come on. It's going to go down 50% this year. You want to hold the dollar, and holding it in a token, right? Holding your dollar in a token is amazing. So I think that's why Tether's doing really well. You realize Tether has $95 billion in issuance. It's a huge amount.
Okay. I mean, Trump issued a stable coin. Who knows? It's all a big casino, and good luck beating the house. I say, what, Kate? That sounds horrible. I wish you Godspeed. I hope you guys win. That you're seeking like an injunction on the logging, or your petition to stop the logging. I'm hoping you guys win. We really as humans need to stop the whole, we need more stuff. We need to build more things. It's, come on now. What's up, people of Substack? Gene says, I'm afraid Trump's going to use all out world war with Iran, China, and Russia with their Middle East allies just to sit and keep saying he's been exonerated from Epstein involvement. I'm sure it's just an injunction. Okay. I'm sure he doesn't balk at that idea. But they also know that there's, when you get close to doing stuff like that, like, I think you really have to consider the blowback, which I think sometimes they do. Sometimes it doesn't look like they give a rat's ass, but I certainly hope we don't go to war, of course. Like, I just think that would be a travesty. And you risk, drawing other people into the conflict. And you risk, pretty much the people of the world turning on you in very significant ways, right? Like that. Well, look what's happening with the release of the Epstein files is causing. Well, first France raided X's office, and now it looks like they're ditching U.S. tech. Now, it's interesting too because you got to know that there's French higher ups who are all in this thing too, right? Jean-Luc Bernard and all this, like the rulers everywhere are all involved in this stuff. I don't think there's like, but they're doing a better job of damage control than we are. We're just sitting around going, well, I guess this is just how it is, right? And they're like, no, we got to do something about this. If at the very least for PR sake. But you got to know that like all those people are the people on the top in France are just as involved as the people on the top in the US. But this is what France is doing. They're moving away from Microsoft Office, Google Workspace. They ditched Zoom, and they're looking for local European alternatives. German state of Schleswig-Holstein migrated about 40,000 public employees off Microsoft Exchange and Outlook to open source systems. European Parliament resolution urging public procurement preference for European digital products and services. EU push for EU Cloud and AI Development Act to create independent European cloud and AI infrastructure. Right. They're whether you think that their leaders are not all up in this or not, I mean, at least they're saying like we don't want we don't want our public government systems to be utilizing these tech products that are backed by people who are all into the stuff that they're finding out they're into. Extra Bullet says nobody wants Windows 11 here, so they're migrating to Linux. Yeah. So this actually kind of lines up with what I mean by open source, or not open source. What I mean by opt out is, open source. It's time to migrate away from the apps and the systems. People have been talking about it for years. People have been de-Googling their phones or getting off Google, getting away from Google. Ahem, YouTube. I know you guys find it easier, but and this is the way, I connect with most of the people on this channel. It's unfortunate, but man, it would be really great if we could all migrate away to something else. That's more open source and not controlled by villains. Hint, hint, Odyssey. Substack has been better for me than other platforms, but Substack is owned or owned, whatever, run by Andreessen and co. So Substack, no, is not a safe alternative. It's cool for now. It seems better, but it is not free from oligarchs. It's not free from, the evil empire. So Substack is only an alternative for the short run, as far as I know. So the long run is open source, independent. Places like Odyssey. Rumble does not fit the bill. Sorry. Wait, hold on. There are other places too, other than Odyssey, but that seems to be. There's like BitChute and some other ones. Odyssey is now built and developed on the Arweave blockchain and AO protocols with a focus on user autonomy and self-governance. The platform CEO, Julian Chandra, has stated that the next evolution of Odyssey will be fully decentralized with no compromises on free speech or content persistence. So there you go. That's what they have to tell you about it. What happened to Rockfin? Rockfin, I don't know. Rockfin seemed to get a little hinky there. A lot of people moved from Rockfin. Rockfin is still going. I still have an account. It's lonely in here. I'm sorry, Reflect the Sun. Well, I see you. And I thank you for being here. Kate's over there. Okay, I got the hint, says Kate. Rockfin went to hell because they stole and refused to pay out money owed to content creators. Ding. That's one of the points. Yeah, so Rockfin was run on a crypto idea, but they did some, they were doing kind of funny things with the crypto. They were paying creators for like a slice of the overall pie. If you put out content and you got viewers, you would get, kind of a slice of the pie, the overall pie, and then you would get tips directly. But then they started doing funny stuff with the paying out of the tips. They moved from their own native token to, what did they move to? Something else, Tether or something else, like a stable coin, USDC, I think. And they were paying out in that, and then they were starting to force people to charge for live streams. And I think overall people just, lost the will or the desire to be on Rockfin. I haven't aired anything on Rockfin for a really long time, and I'm sure maybe there's people over there still doing stuff. I don't know. I just can't. For one thing, I can't stream to more than 3 channels. And I don't know. I'm trying to find like a better alternative overall. Denver says I've registered and re-registered, etc. Every time I try to chat, it makes me re. Oh no, man! Dang, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, you're talking about on Odyssey or on YouTube? Oh, that sucks. I'm not sure where you mean. I'm guessing you mean Odyssey. I don't know. Brighteon, I don't know much about Brighteon. I'm not sure. I was gonna say what I might do. I don't know when. Is begin streaming to the Black Bear News Patreon, because I can stream to the Patreon there. And what I'm thinking about doing is streaming to the Patreon as one of my destinations. And what I'll do is for the subscribers on Patreon, for the paid subscribers, I will do like an extra 10 or 15 minutes over there. So we can like, there'll be some like exclusive content. I don't know. I'm thinking about doing something like that. Who knows? Can you stream on Blue Sky? I don't know. I'm not on Blue Sky. I probably won't get on Blue Sky. Apparently, Jack Dorsey has developed a different social media app that's not Blue Sky, that is decentralized. I don't know much about it. So there's that. Okay, so the other places there that people talk about a lot are well, I've been on this app called Upscrolled, which is a social media app. Guys, go follow me on Upscrolled. Excuse me. Excuse me. Also, Mastodon. There's a whole network of social media built on decentralization called the Fediverse. Mastodon is there. Some other, I don't know enough about it to really speak at length. But I am going to try in the very near future to get some channels going on the Mastodon thing, on the Mastodon platform, and some other decentralized platforms, so that we can kind of migrate some things over there, is my intention. But we got to start looking for ways to get away from these. I don't know what you want to call them, more insidious surveillance platforms, and go to places where freedom of speech, freedom of expression, and less algorithmic control are prevalent. Upscrolled has actually been pretty cool. I don't spend a lot of time there. I don't really spend a lot of time on social media, period, these days. I've been kind of trying to leverage my time a little better. So that means less time for social media, but Upscrolled is, seems kind of cool. From what I can see, what I gather, what I experience there, it seems kind of cool. This is so the Winter Olympics are going on. A lot of people don't even seem to know that the Winter Olympics are going on. This is how Italians welcomed the Israeli Olympic team outside their housing. Everyone knows about them. So I don't know for sure if this is just, I don't know if this caption is correct, because I saw the same footage over here on this post. Protesters shoot flares and fireworks at police in Milan as thousands protest Milano Cortina 2026 Olympics. Marchers rage over public cash burned on games, while healthcare and housing suffer, plus environmental ruin. So they're saying this footage is from something else completely going on. But good on the Italians, because protesting the Olympic Games has been on the rise, and it should be. And a lot of people are against the Olympics coming to LA in 2028. Casey Wasserman, the head of the Olympic Committee in LA, shows up in the Epstein files, and so now everybody's like, "Oh, well, this guy has to go." Big problem for the LA Olympics. Big problem. The funny thing is, lots of people have always known about Casey Wasserman. So most of the stuff in the Epstein file, I mean, yeah, there's revelations in there that are shocking and disturbing, but really the people and the things that are going on have been known by people for a really long time. So if you've been paying attention at least a little bit, you already know. It shouldn't be surprising to you. Renowned MIT professor Nuno Loureiro, remembered as brilliant scientist, search for his killer continues. One of the world's top plasma infusion scientists. Oh, yeah. I think I heard about that. Was like a little while ago, right? Did you see rich people at the Super Bowl eating expensive food for a fundraiser for starving school children? Oh my God. No, I didn't see that. I didn't watch the Super Bowl, y'all. And I didn't care. December 2025, yeah. Yeah, well, no, there's definitely stuff in there that's shocking, Justin. Yeah. I mean, no doubt is shocking stuff in there. I'm just saying, to people who know what these folks are doing, you shouldn't be, sure, shocked, yes, surprised, no. Shouldn't be surprised. What, like, oh my God, they're doing what? Yeah, of course they were doing this. The Epstein victims were at a 40-second ad during the Super Bowl. Really? Oh, awesome. That's kind of great. Not kind of great. That's amazing. I don't understand how this isn't, why isn't this stuff leading to immediate resignations by literally everybody who's like, people are just like, no way, man. This is all lies. No, this is fake. Not true. This is their game plan for the moment. There is snuff stuff in there, Kate. Yeah. It's, man, be very careful if you go down that rabbit hole, because there's stuff in there that will definitely hurt your soul. It's, yeah, you're right, Denver. Yeah, I agree. Which is why I'm not into it. I don't follow sports anymore because I don't see the enjoyment of watching a bunch of, wealthy people run around on a field playing a game that's most likely rigged while contributing to the destruction of the planet on a global scale. Like, I just everything about it is disgusting to me. But some people love the commercials and the halftime show, and if you do, I'm not trying to rain on anybody's parade. I'm just saying it's not for me. It's not for me. If you enjoy the Super Bowl, cool. Thank you, whoever bought the coffee. I appreciate you. Somebody bought me a coffee. Who dat? I don't know. Thank you. The one who is called someone bought me a coffee. I appreciate you. Wayne says, same here, Kevin. I haven't watched TV in years. Yeah. Oh, I can't really take it. I can't take the commercials, but now all my streaming services now all come with commercials. I'm just like, hey, hold on. They just switched it over to like, well, now you're paying for your TV, channel by channel, and we're going to show you commercials unless you pay more. Like, nice little switcheroo there. Yeah, I saw that extra bullet. Turning Point USA put on an American halftime show. I saw somebody doing somebody reviewing the live stream of the Turning Point, and it looked like nobody was in the chat. Hardly anybody. The chat wasn't moving, but they supposedly were getting views, which is easy to do, right? To finagle. If you buy bots to give you viewers, like they can do that pretty easily, but that doesn't, you can't actually, hard to do that in the chats, or maybe they just didn't pay for that upgrade in the package. I'm not sure. Talking Points USA, right? Well, it's ridiculous. Wow, this is a crazy thing from the Epstein files. I like that. Toilet Paper USA. There you go. How about Talking Pedophiles USA? Trust Pedophiles USA. I don't know, something like that. Epstein has an inside man at the FBI. The FBI needs to be completely abolished after aiding Jeffrey Epstein and failing to follow up on countless tips about him. Of course. That's why the whole thing needs to the whole thing. It's like, don't stop at Trump. Don't stop at his administration. Don't stop at Congress. Don't stop at Senate. Don't stop at the CIA. Don't stop at the FBI. Don't stop at the Pentagon. Don't stop. Don't stop there. Everything, all of it. They're all complicit. Who will cover up crimes for the State Department? Right, exactly. I mean, there has to be an absolute gutting of the people that run a lot of our institutions. If we're going to, and there has to be a replacement with, people who can prove they are not tainted with this bullshit. Anyways, continuing to this post, Epstein ordered 55 gallons of sulfuric acid. If you want to get dark, there's a lot of dark stuff in here. Sulfuric acid on the same day as the FBI began child trafficking probe. Holy shnikes. This is in 2018. And here is the receipt. What the actual F? What the actual F? I mean, it's dark. It's really dark. Moving on to some other things. According to the New York Times, FBI agents with a signed warrant were ready to document blood splatter and bullet holes in Renee Good's SUV until they were ordered to stop. The order reportedly came from Kash Patel. Again, another reason why the FBI should be disbanded. Shattered into 1,000 pieces, as JFK once said about the CIA. I think I saw that. Extra bullet, yeah. I don't think it did happen, honestly. I think he was switched out. And there's a famous Reddit post about Epstein being switched out from somebody who worked at the prison. Yep. I like this post. Nobody in the world, nobody in history has ever gotten their freedom by appealing to the moral sense of the people who were oppressing them. Asada Shakur. Kind of the same concept as power concedes nothing without a demand. Like, you're not going to ask them to be, come on, man. Come on. Will you be cool? No, they're not going to be cool. They're not going to be cool until you get very uncool with them. Cash Patel is the Baghdad Bob of the U.S. Yeah. Chris Hedges said there was no evidence that the CIA was involved in the CIA assassination. That's interesting. Are you talking about in the JFK assassination? That is questionable from Chris Hedges. Yeah, people who can't see some things that are very obvious, who are like, no way, that didn't. I'm like, yeah, I have questions too. I have questions about you if you can't see some obvious, there's been some independent journalists who like are, have talked about 9/11 as if the real story is anywhere close to true. And I'm like, you're not a journalist. Yeah. Nothing you can say can be taken seriously. Sorry. If you just can't see through the very simple idea that nothing about that story makes any sense, like, you're not a journalist. You're a narrative manager. And I see you. Guys, if you like the show, you want to support the show, lots of ways to support the show. The show needs your support. What's up? Oh, we're on Odyssey over here. Sorry, don't want to neglect Odyssey. Is it me, or was Black Bear News absent from Odyssey for a while? It says Desert Mantis's channel. No, I've been here pretty steady for, I don't remember when I started. I want to say last summer. Did I switch over to Odyssey last summer? I think it was somewhere where last summer or early fall. So a few months. The thing is Odyssey is a little glitchy. Like, you have to publish your video after you're done streaming it. Substack makes you do the same thing, where it's like your video isn't live until you like publish it. And so they don't actually always, the replay that you publish doesn't always show up. So I can't republish every show. It's just a random roll of the dice whether the stream shows up, so that I can click it and repost it. And I don't know if it's something that's happening on my end or Odyssey's end. I'm not sure, but like, I can't repost every show, but most every show is on Odyssey. Reflect the Sun says, dang, Carlin left out a few adjectives and it's a big club, probably so he wasn't unalived. Yeah. What's up on Substack? Hello, Substack people. I was going to say, if you want to support the show, I got lost in the middle of my saying. There's lots of links in the description box of whatever platform you're watching on. All the regulars are there: Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, Buy Me a Coffee, etc. Patreon, Substack. You can subscribe to either channel if you want to support me there. Gene says, I quit Rockfin when all the creators went premium, which is probably why they had to do to keep from getting ripped off. Well, they were forcing people to go premium, which is why I left. There wasn't enough traffic on Rockfin for me to get people to pay for a stream. It just wasn't. All right. Peace out, Poppy. Peace out, Poppy. I really appreciate you guys watching on Odyssey. Odyssey will most likely be a more long-term channel. I'm hoping. I don't know. Let's see. Olympic athletes speaking out about ice. Where did I read too? Do the Olympics have enough snow? I think I read somewhere. Well, there's been quite a few Winter Olympics, that had to have trucked in, shipped in, or man-made snow, because the planet's getting too warm to actually host a Winter Olympics in a lot of places. The use of artificial snow is a common practice in modern Winter Olympics, as seen in previous editions like Beijing 2022, or it was used to maintain consistent course quality. There's a lot of protest messages at the games, like F ice. Yeah. And I think people are protesting the Israeli team for sure, as they should. Desert Mantis, I left Rockfin several months ago. Yeah, I quit Rockfin and never looked back. And I just, like, the best way for me to do this show is to streamline, just do a live stream and send it to whatever channel. And, if I have to like re-upload something or, download and upload, and I just don't have the bandwidth for that. I will try to cut up some clips though. I've been meaning to cut up clips from these shows and kind of post around. That also is a time consuming process. But I believe helpful for people. Anything else to cover? I think that's mainly it, guys, that I got today. I know that I'm probably missing quite a bit. I could probably do a 2 or 3 hour stream if I wanted to really get in depth. Which I would actually like to. I just time is not allowing me to do such things. Not yet. What? Hold on. Can I get this? Some athletes have faced online hate and threats for speaking out about what's going on in the U.S. Oh, really? Oh, that's good. These athletes have a conscience, and they have a voice, and they're using it. Power to them. Power to the people. Yeah, no, I know. Going South, yeah, they do make clips for you. And sometimes I download them. Not all of them are not all of them are usable, but usually 1 or 2 are. Oh, I read that. I read that at the top of the show, Denver. I read that article, or we talked about it. We talked about it. Yep. I mean, we're getting warmer, and that means that we're going to continue getting warmer at a faster clip, most likely. Yeah, no, I saw it. I read about it. I read it. I think though, I feel like there's been a few of those articles over the last few years that have kind of said the same thing. Everyone, they keep putting out these studies, and they're like, "Yep, what they said, 2 years ago, it's true." All right, guys. Thanks for being here. To all that contributed to the show, I thank you. I appreciate you. For those that will contribute to the show, I appreciate you. I thank you in advance. I'm going to see you on Thursday at the usual time of noon. All right. 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time while we're still on it. Right. Oh, I can't take another, if winter starts being like 90 degrees, a couple of weeks straight of 90 degrees, if that's a winter, I'm going to feel some kind of way. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you. I'll see you on Thursday. And until then, beware the bear.